What is up, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Dad's Life Podcast. I am your host, Sean Flack 2.0, and welcome to the show. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about Do You See Me? Look Both Ways. And in your Holla at Your Homie section, we'll be talking about my childhood friend, Shadow Al. But before we get into both of those, let's talk about what's good and new. So since the last episode, what did I talk about? Toys versus technology. If you did miss that one, go ahead and go back to the previous episode, wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can check that out. First and foremost, I want to say thank you to everybody that has listened to the podcast, all the new listeners. Actually, I went from about 2 subscribers to 11, I guess that's their estimated audience. So I thought that was pretty awesome. Just a little bit of growth there. Again, getting back into the swing of things after taking a little summer hiatus. So again, thank you for everybody. Thank you to everybody that is supporting the podcast and, week by week coming out and checking out what I got to offer. So again, thank you. So as far as good and new, definitely seeing the audience grow. That's awesome. So again, I don't know how many times I keep saying this, but thank you for that. And as far as good, I'd have to say, besides the daily blessed stuff, that's about it. Because this past week actually has been pretty rough. The baby boy, he actually has the stomach flu. He's been throwing up. But hopefully it's been the last couple days, so hopefully he's kind of getting through it, over it. That's basically what dad life is about, taking care of your kids. I've spent a lot of time at work, worked a lot of hours these last couple days. I'm extremely tired, but, it's what I feel is about being a dad. Going out there supporting the family, making sure they have everything they can, and always like thinking positive. Like, I'm really tired, but, through my long hours and working a lot, we're meeting some goals, we're catching up on some stuff. So that's basically it. One of the things that kind of kept me going was something I had saw like on Facebook, and it was just said, to all the men, shout out to all the men out there that, even if they're tired, they still get up and they never quit. Stay strong, kings, something like that. But obviously that hit close to home because I was very tired, very exhausted. Baby boy got sick. We're just going through a lot at the house, especially with the wife on the mend. But I'm going to keep going because that's what dads do. We don't quit. We got families, we got kids, wives, or maybe, we're single dads, whatever the case is. This is a shout out to all of you guys out there. Definitely keep doing what you're doing. Keep those kids in mind, your family in mind. And that hard work does pay off, and it doesn't go unnoticed. It may be thankless sometimes, but definitely your hard work does not go unnoticed. So again, thank you guys for all that. And that's mainly what I got as far as good and new. I always want to hear what's good and new with you guys. So check me out on Twitter at Sean Flack. That's SEANFLAC. Hit me a message there, hashtag good and new. And I definitely would love to share on the show what's good and new with you guys. So again, if you don't follow me on Twitter, check me out. That's at Sean Flack. At Sean Flack on Twitter. All right, so today's major topic of the episode is called Do You See Me? Look Both Ways. Now, in the last episode, and again, if you haven't checked out that episode, go ahead and pause this right now. Go back into the backlog, check it out. I did talk about toys versus technology, and one of the things that I said that we've kept, that's a toy, was, or I guess it's not technically a toy, was a bike seat for the wife's beach cruiser. So it's kind of a little funny story. Like, some of the cool things we have isn't necessarily mine. It's actually the wife's. Like, the wife has a really nice truck. I mean, I have a nice car too, a decent car. I love my car anyway. Another time for another episode. And then she also has this cool beach cruiser, and it's like black and orange, and it is we got it years and years and years ago, but it's a beach cruiser, single speed. It's black and orange. It's called like the Tahitian treat or something like that. Really nice. We end up getting a baby seat that sits in the front by the handlebars. And that was as we're kind of cleaning stuff out and getting rid of, some of the baby stuff that they've outgrown. Again, the more of those things you get, the more things you have to store, and eventually, just like I said in the last episode, you have to get rid of them. So that's one of the things that we kept was this car seat for the bike. And with the wife on the mend and the weather being too hot or whatever the case was, we didn't really get a chance to use it as much as I wanted. So what I ended up doing was I dusted it off. I attached it right back to the bike, and you know what? The weather was pretty decent for a couple of days this past week or 2 weeks ago, and I took baby girl out. Like, you know what? We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna try to enjoy this weather as much as we can. Again, with the wife on the mend, they've spent a lot of time at home, and she hasn't been able to take them out. So, as a way to give her a break from both kids, I would take baby girl out because baby boy, I think he's getting to the close where he's almost too big for it. But she's the perfect size for it. So, I go ahead and I grab my Bluetooth speaker, I strap it to the back of the bike, hook up my little bike tracking fitness app thing so I get credit for going on a bike ride. Put on that Moana playlist so that, keeps baby girl entertained while we're cruising along. Put her in the seat, strap her in, put her helmet on, and off we go. So the reason why I'm sharing this story is, well, something happened twice now on this bike ride that I went, and that we take our little loop around the neighborhood, and it's happened twice to me already in the same exact place. And I wanted to bring that up as as parents, we're out there doing these things, and just trying to enjoy our kids and enjoy the weather. And basically, what happened is that we were coming to a stop sign, a four-way stop sign, and if you're a driver, if you drive old enough to drive, generally you'll stop. You should look left first to see oncoming traffic, and then look right to see if there's anybody there, and then look left again, and then you'd go ahead and make your right turn. Well, this has happened twice, one with a younger guy and like his girlfriend, and another one with like an older woman, maybe she was like her late 30s, early 40s. But I'm coming, right? And I'm stopping knowing that they're not going to see me, because what they really end up doing is they'll go ahead and cruise, and they'll come to this little California rolling stop. They'll look left, don't see any traffic, and start going without looking right to see that we're either on our way or we're stopped or whatever. There's nobody, kids on the curve. And then they've like slammed on their brakes because they're scared that we were there. And again, without looking in that direction. Again, this has happened twice, and if we never ever want to take our kids out, and boom, and some crazy emergency happens, just because somebody else is not paying attention. So, if you're out there with the kids, be mindful. I want to share this story because it did happen to me twice, and I would really hate for one of the listeners out there to, be out there hanging out with the kids, trying to do their best thing to, be the best dad you can be, take the kids out, and other people that should be responsible for the way they're operating their vehicle, they're not doing the right thing. And in turn could hurt you. And obviously, if you're getting hurt, most likely the baby, the child, whatever, is going to get hurt as well. So just something I wanted to bring up. If you're out there, you're out and about, and I know it's kind of like a quirky little topic to bring up, but I want to talk about and share my experiences about being a dad, and especially kid safety. Like, you're out there, you're enjoying yourself or whatever, and then boom, somebody's not paying attention. So, number one, I'd like you to be aware of some drivers just don't know how to drive. So be aware when you're coming up the corners. And I know, oh yeah, it's safety. It's like no duh. But in today's day and age, I really, really feel that like common sense is not common anymore. So we have to do more and be more vigilant. And when we're out. Now, if there's a pause in the recording, I accidentally cut off the stream in mid thought. So now here starting the stream, the recording right back up where I left off. So hopefully there's not a big gap of thought process here. But the main thing is while you're out there, you need to be more vigilant. But on the flip side as well, if you're out there, you're driving and you're the one that's cruising through like the residential neighborhoods or whatever, you want to be aware. Don't forget to look both ways. And as stupid as that notion may sound, it's something that could turn a regular old day of driving or riding your bike into a tragedy. And I really thought it was very important for me to bring this up because, again, we are talking about spending time with your kids. We are talking about, um, trying to get out there. I personally like having more toys versus more technology because, they're, using their imagination and things like that. And of course, it gets us more involved. So we're not letting that, the technology um, guide their imagination. Like we're involved, we're out there. And one of the major things I love doing is taking the kids out for a walk or a bike ride or, walking the dog with the kids in the stroller. So I like being out and about. And I thought that this would be a good segue from the toys and tech right into some of the things that you keep, like the stroller. Like we have a jogging stroller, we have the bike seat for the kid seat for the bike. Like these are those things that you're going to keep until they fully grow out of. And again, as we're out there and we're trying to do what we can to spend time with our kids, we want to make sure that we're vigilant, especially with today's day and age where common sense is no longer common. Now I know you guys might be thinking like, we're going to waste the next 20 minutes, whatever, talking about this. But again, it is about sharing. The podcast is about sharing experiences. And hopefully, you notice these things or you're more vigilant when you're on the road, especially going through like residential neighborhoods, not speeding down the street, running stop signs or even doing rolling stops. Rolling stops are big. We have a three-way intersection, a little stop sign right in front of the park, and many times they just roll through it. And I think there's a speed bump right there. They think, oh, it's a speed bump. I need to slow down, but they keep going and fail to see the stop sign. So again, just something that I'm noticing a bunch of adults are doing, and I'm out and about with my kid. I want the message to be like safety, safety first. We want to make sure that we're more aware if we're out and about, especially with a bunch of creepers and stuff. We're at the park or whatever. You want to be more aware of what your surroundings are. You want to be more aware of what people are doing and cars out around you. If you're out walking with the kids in the stroller, on the bike, whatever you guys do. And then of course, as a driver or, as a driver, basically in this particular case, that you are aware of what may be going on and that you don't want to turn somebody's day from just a regular old walk down the street into a trip to the hospital. So anyway, that's the major topic. That's the major thing I wanted to talk about and point out. Let me know what you think about that topic. Share your experiences with me. You can check me out on Facebook. When it comes to like being out and about with your kids, and really like what frustrates you when people aren't paying attention, and how does it make you feel when you're out there trying to spend time with the kids and somebody's not paying the attention that they should and potentially has a near miss with you. I'd love to hear your stories. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this particular topic. um, so yeah, you hit me up on Facebook, Twitter, and obviously you can hit me up on Anchor. So yeah, that's basically it for that. So before we get into the next segment of our show, I just want to take a quick time out for a message from our sponsor. So in this week's episode of Holla at Your Homie, I'm going to be talking about my childhood friend, Shadow Al. Now, Shadow Al, he is a rapper that is from the Bay Area. Currently, he's relocated to the Fresno area. His music has been inspiring to me. There's some tracks that he dropped years ago that, just like, wow, this is some really great music. The motivation of his music is 100% different from what I'm used to. So, obviously, not only being my childhood friend, but also his music is very inspiring to me. And if you can't find another person that is so passionate about chasing his craft, he's definitely been one of those folks that no matter what life has thrown his way, no matter ups and downs with life, he's always, been strong in his music, been strong in his faith, and just keeps his path. So, today's spotlight is going to be on my friend Shadow Al. Make sure I put descriptions, a link to his Facebook page and his website in the description of the actual podcast. Go ahead and check him out. Tell him that Sean Flack 2.0 from the Dad's Life podcast sent you. Check out his music. I personally loved a lot of his tracks. Haven't been able to keep up with the music that he's been putting out lately, but he's been putting out some YouTube stuff. But I'll just make sure I go ahead and leave all the information I have for you guys to go check him out. Again, his rap is to me inspirational. A lot of the stuff. One of his tracks was I can't even remember what it is now. It's been so long since I've listened to it, but I remember playing it over and over and over again. And what I'll do right after the episode is I'm going to go look up that track. I'll make sure I put that track in a link. If I can find a link to that track so you can listen to it, I'll go ahead and throw that in the description below. But that's basically going to be it for this week's episode. I know it's kind of a little bit all over the place. It's, I've been trying to set up a bunch of different things. As far as continuing with the podcast, I'm wanting to stream on Mixer. If you guys are on Mixer, check me out. I'm on the Xbox now. Swapped all my stuff out for Xbox stuff from PlayStation to the Xbox. Going to be streaming on Mixer. I'm a gamer, so check me out on Mixer /Sean_Flack. Follow me there. Check me out on Twitter. Obviously, you guys know about the website. That's SeanFlack.com. So there's just been a lot I've been trying to put together, and I'm really trying to build the infrastructure of what this is, and then, of course, hashing out the details for each episode. And I am a beginner at this, and again, I appreciate you guys. I think we're still like in mid-20s, I think, as far as episodes at this time of the recording. And I would be grateful to get to 50. I want to get there first. But again, I'm trying to build out a couple things. I'm using a lot of good resources. So anyway, enough about that blabbling. I probably wasted more than enough of your time this week. If you guys had any questions, comments, or emotional outbursts, you guys know how to hit me up. Again, that's at Sean Flack on Twitter. That's going to probably be the fastest way. You can find me on Facebook. That's facebook.com/Sean Flack 2.0. That'll bring you to the Sean Flack 2.0 Facebook page. And then, of course, the main thing is the website. Check out the website. It's going to have links to everything I'm working on as far as my blog, the podcast, the YouTube page. Don't forget about the YouTube page. And once I figure out Mixer and kind of get it all up and running, you'll find a link to that so that you guys could, kind of just go to the website and get all the information you guys need. Anyway, as always, thank you for supporting the show. And until next week, have a great one. Peace.